Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Sagittarius new moon meditation together. If it is possible for you in terms of the Wi-Fi and internet connection, then we kindly ask you to join our shared space also visually. Just a reminder that it's on my based on the video that is shown. So, if you feel comfortable sharing your face, sharing your space with us, then please do so. Yeah, I'm so I can feel the energy already. My heart is pumping and I'm like, yeah. This is excited. I'm so excited about this. So happy to see you live here. For those of you that I'm meeting for the first time, my name is Raisa Ulias. And yeah, I'll be recording this meditation. The video will be on my face. You will have an opportunity to share your experience if you want to, through audio or through the chat at the end. I usually share something about the esoterics at the beginning, and then we go our shared journey together, guided journey together. And then there's some space if you want to be witnessed in something, to share something, to name something, to create your life through your power of your voice. So that's the opportunity there. Today I'm gonna speak a bit about the esoterics about the Sagittarius. I did not say much last time when the full moon was up. And again, I am still integrating this archetype, so I'm just giving the pieces that have been integrated in me in the past 2 weeks. So this keeps developing, this keeps deepening, and yeah, if there are any people here who have Sagittarius as their sun sign, that they were born under the sign, you can raise your hand. I'll know if oh yes, there's one. Amazing. And if you know that this is your rising sign, your soul sign, then also, or your moon is in Sagittarius, do let me know. It doesn't really matter as much because we all need to integrate these energies. It's just that if you have these in your constellations, in your chart, then it just means that it's more prominent in your lifetime in this round. So just a heads up. So Sagittarius, last time I mentioned that it's a sign that is about fusing polarities. It's about fusing dualities. The polar opposite of Sagittarius is Gemini, which is the sign for, well, obviously not the only one, but very obvious sign for duality. And so here, when we're looking from the soul's perspective, the point here in Sagittarius is to fuse the soul and the personality, so that the personality, the body, and the soul can serve as one unit and aim for the one single goal, which is the spirit. On the personality level, this can show up as wanting to start a new project, finish it. Oh, there's another project. Okay, I'm going to start that and finish that. Oh, there's another project. So this loops keeps coming over and over again. So there's nothing really satisfying about that necessarily. So you may feel like you were left empty-handed after you finished that project, or you had that relationship, or whatever that thing is. But the fact is that, or not, in my experience, it is because it's more like it's horizontal, and it does not give that satisfaction. But when it's vertical, so that you integrate your personality, you reach for the higher goal of the soul, and you fuse that with the personality, you see the other goal, which is the spirit, and it's like, wow, here I can rest, here I can rest, and here I can, this is the place, the spirit is the place where I can rest, and this is the place of creation and destruction. And so that's why we are going to explore sexual energy and the energy of destruction today. We are fusing those two polarities today. And the reason for that is because in my personal life, I have been experiencing that on a very personal level, working through some sexual trauma, working through liberating more sexual energy, then allowing myself more to experience aggression energy, and even celebrate those two at the same time, that power can be, and that both of those energies don't need to harm others or myself either, but my sexual energy can be harvested not only to horizontal interactions, but to create, to help fuse the soul into this body, and also help my intuition be more clear. And same goes for this energy of destruction, of the aggression, of that energy that sets boundaries. It's the energy that lets create separation, but not necessarily having to create separation between people, but rather to the things that do not serve you anymore. And so what are the things that are not holding life at the center in your life? It's the question or inquiry today. And I did not mention about the planetary rulers last time, so I'm going to speak a few words about that. The personality level planetary ruler is Jupiter, which brings in the second ray energy, which is love wisdom. So on the personality level, that is also bringing in the relationships. It is bringing in self-compassion, your relationship to yourself. And on the esoteric level, meaning the soul level, the ruler is Earth. The Earth is supporting us to trust our intuition instead of the logical or scientific information. And this is the third ray energy, the active intelligence. So instead of acting because this is rational and I should be doing this, we actually listen to our instincts. So intuition, in my experience, intuition is the knowing without knowing how you know. This in the teachings, it is said that intuition is direct knowing on the Buddhic level. So there's our crown, there's astral level, there's then there's the total blackout, the soul body, and then there's some fewer layers in between, and then there's Buddhic level. And when you are settled in the Buddhic level, you're basically acting as a very experienced and very expanded and very as a soul who you are, is well ahead on this path, very developed soul. So no rush or no shame or blame if you can't reach the Buddhic level today. This is just exploration, whether we are opening up to the possibility that there is such a thing. And on the spirit level, the ruler is Mars. And Mars is the energy of war. It is the energy of, it's that fiery energy. But what it brings along is the fourth quality, of the fourth ray energy, which is harmony through conflict. And that harmony through conflict is exactly the energy that brings the dualities together. And so we are diving deeper into the spirit level today in order to fuse those dualities of sexual and creative energy and destructive energy, and see what we find and how we can today, when this particular time is about setting your intentions for the upcoming year, and setting intentions not from a place of your mind, your personality mind, your thoughts, even though thoughts are power, but rather that the governance of those intentions and plans would be deeper and deeper than the personality, deeper than the soul, so that they would be grounded in the one life. And how and what does it look like when you actually create your life from that place, instead of, oh, I want to do this, what should I be doing? Am I supposed to be doing this? Or what's my place? So let's just align ourselves with the will of God and let the magic unfold. So the mind, the small I, the little personality doesn't have to take care of that. It can just take the back seat. Yeah, so that's what I want to say today. Is there any questions? Are there any questions or any sharings at this point? There's one person who's both sun and rising in Sagittarius. Awesome. You have amazing potential in this life to shoot the stars and then aim to the universal or the core of the galaxy and reach the spirit. So that's amazing.
I feel like bringing in that this new moon is in exact opposite to my sun sign in Gemini. So.
Yes, amazing.
It's also amazing, yeah.
Yes.
I feel lucky.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that in, because the opposite signs are also very important portals to reaching connection and contact to spirit. So for example, I am Aquarius, and now I need to double check this, but if I remember correctly, it is the soul signs, the rising signs opposite that is relevant in reaching the monadic connection. And so, well, I'm both sun and rising in Aquarius, but my rising as an Aquarius, the energy that I need to integrate is Leo. Obviously Aquarius as well, but Leo is very essential in my journey. So just think about your opposite sign and see what kind of triggers you may have, what kind of stories you may have created yourself, for yourself, about yourself, trying to avoid different things in those opposite sign, in that opposite sign. Or if you already have something that, oh, this is a gift that I have integrated already in this life, or I already came into this life with that gift. So that is a way to see where you are at astrologically speaking, especially at esoteric astrological point of view. So that's one aspect. Amazing. Okay, so let's see what the life brings. For those of you who don't know my style of guiding yet, then this is an embodied meditation, which means that I invite you to, and I totally encourage you to listen to your body's impulses, to allow your body to move whenever it wants to move, and the way it wants to move, even if it doesn't make any sense to you, why is it is doing that. You don't need to be conscious or have a reason for that to happen. But I invite you to hold the awareness that you stay awake, witnessing that. And maybe some cognitive understanding may rise. It may not, but it may rise, because body holds a lot of wisdom. It holds our history. It holds all the things in the body that we have experienced in the past. And also the parts of our development that we have brought from other lives before. So that's in the animal body archetype. So even if it's not in the physical body, it's in the animal body. And having said that, if you feel like sitting and having a sitting meditation, that's totally welcome as well. The reason why I encourage the embodiment is that so that the energy that wants to be integrated is including the physical aspect as well. So it's not just the etheric or mental or even just emotional experience, but also the physical, so that it can be manifested, it can be expressed, it can be experienced, it can be released, and it can be liberated on the physical level. So that's my invitation and my own intention for this. And so at the same time, I invite you to, as we are now exploring very powerful energies, sexual energy and the energy of destruction, and if you at any point feel that you are getting triggered or somehow not present in your body, just take it slower. Take your focus to your exhale, so longer exhales. Bring your focus to your feet or your or whatever is touching the surface that you're on, so that you can bring yourself back to your body. I am aware that these are the energies that may cause fear, may cause shame, it may cause some kind of, you may have some kind of trauma in relation to these energies. And so be gentle with yourself. You don't need to push anything. You don't need to work yourself through anything. You don't have to get through anything. And so forget any goals, forget any objectives that this is something that you need to reach, or you fail. There's no failure here. So you can just be present to what is. Be present to what is. And just titrate, regulate yourself, that you don't need to let it flood in or flood out, but one step at a time, as much as your system can take. So that is the sustainable way of proceeding with these things. Okay, and we start with a bit of a grounding. And I'm standing here, and I'm standing on the floor with my socks on, because it's a bit of a cold floor. But if you can stand, and if you want to stand, I invite you to find a posture and place in the space that you're in that you feel comfortable standing, and that you have contact to the floor or to the surface that you're on. You may be wanting to stand on the sofa. I don't know where you want to stand, but or what brings you grounding. Whatever brings you grounding, that's the whole point. So that you feel like you can let your body move, you can let your body express. And especially now that we're reaching to the depths of the matter and to the highs of the cosmos, then I wanna invite us to have the channel that is our body to be more erect and more open and more available for movement. And in this standing position, just listen to your body, that what does it need at this point? What kind of looking around, what kind of movement does it need in order to just maybe stretch the day off, or depending on what time zone you're in, that if it's early for you, then maybe it's something that you want to shake the night off, or if you are in the evening where you are now, then just so that you can let the day go thus far. It doesn't matter how short or long the day has been, and just any sounds are welcome. Doesn't have to be words. It can be words. It can be shaking also, just bouncing the feet and the knees. And just noticing what kind of state the body is in. Is it activated? Is it more relaxed, or is it frozen? And how does your breathing support that? How can your breathing come in to the grounding and to the movement so that it is working with them and not against them? Take a moment for this, a minute or two, to find the connection to your body at this moment, to release what needs to be released at this point, so that you can rest in your body, no matter how active the body is, but you feel comfortable, you feel more spaces. So how can you create more space in your body? What kind of movement would bring, what kind of breathing would bring more space into your body? And at the same time, while you are exploring this, just notice if there is any fuck this shit kind of thought. Like, I don't want to do this. I feel tired. I wish I was somewhere else, or something like that. Then notice that and just accept that, and then include that into your experience. You don't need to push it away, but include it and see how your breathing wants to work with that. And if you want to or need to, you can close your eyes and start going within, knowing that you're safe in the space that you're in. And hopefully you've created yourself some circumstances that you will not be interrupted. But if in case you are, then knowing that you are safe anyway, and you can always resume this meditation with the help of the recording. So no stress about that. While you are in your body, just feel if there is any tension that you can release, let go, invite into more relaxation. If there is any holding up, like you're pulling yourself up rather than letting yourself drop down. And just see if you can let go of that holding and just descend to the earth, into the ground, into the surface that you're on. And as you let go of that holding, notice if that is supporting your breathing to go deeper into your belly, into your pelvic area, even into your feet. I mean, obviously, physically, it's working with your diaphragm, and it's the lungs, and it's the air pipes and all that. But then see if you can sense how the cells and the atoms of your body work together, and that same air, that same oxygen is relaxing, releasing any rigidness or rigidity from your body, inviting in more flow, inviting more conversation between the different parts of your body. And then I invite you to bring your attention to your base, to the area of perineum, your anus, your buttocks, your pelvic area. Just noticing how can your breathing support any kind of movement there, whether that be internal movement or external movement or very subtle movement or very dynamic and powerful movement, or gross in terms of how big that movement is. You can even kneel down a bit to see if your ankles are flowing or if the ankles are a bit tight, so that the energy flows better between your knees and your ankles and your pelvis. Just this bouncing. If there are any crackling sounds, then that's okay. That is just releasing any tensions there, hopefully not breaking your bones. And then softening your soles of your feet. If you feel like that there's tension in your feet, then see if you can find any surface that you can rub your feet on, a ball, a threshold, any kind of object that help you dig into that sole of your feet, or soles of your feet, just so that it just relaxes the fascia there, lets the tensions flow. And if you feel like you can, and you want to, and your body wants to release that tension by shaking, somehow moving, and then letting that energy to come upwards and kicking outwards, then let yourself do that, whatever is happening there. And as you connect to your base, what is the one thing that comes to your mind, comes to your body, that may be stopping you from feeling safe when it comes to the theme of sexual energy and destruction? Just acknowledge that fear, or if it is shame, even, whichever that may be, name it for yourself. What is it about? Be specific in one word or phrase. And if you don't hit the bullseye right away, just keep aiming that arrow. Keep aiming it until your body responds. So it really helps if you say it out loud for yourself, so that your body can respond to it and tell you if you have hit the bullseye, because your body will respond either in movement, or you will have some kind of emotional reaction, or you just know that okay, wow, this is it, that there is more expansion on the mental level. So it's some kind of a release or expansion in the experience. So keep looking for the right word, right phrase. What is the fear or shame about in terms of sexual energy or energy of destruction, or both? And let yourself feel that for the next minute. Let yourself express that. Let it express itself through your body, through your sound, through your movement, through your touch, through your breathing. How does your breathing change? It doesn't necessarily change at all, but if it does, then notice that. Last minutes or the last moments. And see how your being is now compared to just moments ago. Just moments ago when we started, and see how you are. Is there anything differently, or you're still feeling the same? You can let go of that fear or that shame. Let it know that it has been acknowledged and embraced. And see how you are now. Is there more sense of safety in your being? And if there isn't that much more safety, ask yourself, what do I need in order to feel more safe? Knowing that there is no such a thing than absolute safety. There is relative safety, but if I need to feel more safe, then what is it that I need to do that or to feel that? Can I give it to myself at this moment? And that's okay if you can't. Just know where you are at. for people with trauma or people with little experience of safety, it's very hard to sometimes to even imagine what sense of safety is. If there is no imprint in the body of that experience, it's sometimes really hard to connect to that. And it may be frustrating, it may be infuriating, like what the fuck are you talking about? How to get there? But rather just acknowledging that and allowing yourself to also grieve if there is an experience that you actually may not be in connection to sense of safety. It doesn't make you any less in any way. And from this point, I imagine that there may be people who are somewhat familiar with Tantra or Tantric exercises or what have you there. I invite you to forget everything you know about sexual energy and sexual exercises or anything like that, and just be naked in this moment, innocent in your own experience, like a newborn coming to this world, all senses open. And exploring with curiosity and that sense of safety that what is sexual energy in me, in my experience right now, today, in this moment. You can invite that energy in and just see what happens. What starts to become available in your experience? How does your body respond to that invitation? What physical sensations can you notice? Are there feelings rising? Thoughts or stories coming up? Without any judgment or blame, just noticing what is happening in you. What happens to your body movements, whether external or internal? What happens to your breathing, your sound, your touch? Does your physical experience support this energy or does it need to prevent it? And does this sexual energy want to build up in your system, in your body, in your energy field? And how does it feel? What does it bring up in you? What is your response or reaction to sexual energy in this moment? How do you respond to it? Notice if there are any familiar physical reactions or familiar emotional reactions happening in your being or in your experience right now. And by familiar, I mean experiences that may have been repeating in your life so far, that they are already things that keep repeating, happening to you all over and over again, and you keep finding yourself in those experiences in terms and in relation to sexual energy. Take note of the details of these emotions and these physical sensations, maybe even the posture of your body, how your body, what kind of posture does your body take? Is the rhythm of your breathing familiar? Or is it responding to this moment as it is? And then notice the stories that you tell yourself about yourself in relation to sexual energy. Keep voicing out, naming them out loud in sentences. What stories do I tell about myself to myself in relation to sexual energy? Keep naming them and stop after each one and feel each one. Let each one be expressed by your body and through your body. One more minute for this. And then what stories do I tell myself about the other people in relation to sexual energy? What stories do I tell about other people to myself? Keep naming those and stopping after each one and feeling and expressing. We'll have a minute or two for this. And then what stories do you tell yourself about the world at large? What stories do I tell myself about the world at large in relation to sexual energy? Naming, feeling, expressing them. One more minute. And as you have these stories, these beliefs about yourself, about the other people, and about the world in relation to sexual energy and the physical experiences, the emotional patterns that you experience, and you have this big picture of this big ball of things that are around the sexual energy in your experience, then what is the thing that down deep down there behind these stories, what do I believe that I am not capable of? What do I believe that I am not capable of, or that I'm not allowing myself? Name it, feel it, let it sink in. Last moments. And then take a higher perspective of your soul. Distance yourself from the story, from these beliefs and emotional patterns and the physical patterns, behavioral patterns. Look at it. Look at all that, how it has been repeating in your life. What's the lesson I'm supposed to learn from this? What is it that I'm meant to learn? in one word or phrase. There is no big stories related to the soul world. Last moments. And then see behind that big ball of stories and emotions and patterns and what have you, and see behind it what's been hidden there. What's been hidden there? What have you rejected? What part of yourself have you rejected that needs to be brought home to wholeness, to love again? Can be a feeling, a thought, a behavior, an energy. What's there? Once you have it, let yourself embody that. Let yourself integrate that. Last moments. Is there anything else that you need to express or move or say or sound or touch or breathe or however your body longs for? Is there anything else before we move on to the next part? Coming to completion with this journey or this part of the journey. And if it supports you, you can switch places in the space that you're in as we move on to exploring the energy of destruction. You can start calling in the energy of destruction and see what starts to become available for you with this energy, what appears in your experience. Not from a place of, okay, this is what it has been for me in the past, so it must be like this, but rather from the curiosity that what wants to be revealed now. Staying open, curious, knowing that you're safe. And also knowing that you can regulate yourself with your body, knowing that you can give yourself the permission to go as deep as it is possible and necessary for you today. So no further than that. And as you call in the energy of destruction, the destruction part of the spirit, what physical sensations can you sense? Notice physical reactions. How do you respond physically, emotionally, mentally with this energy? Sometimes you can even taste the energy or smell it. Is there as you have all the sense doors open, what are the senses that are available for you today? Where do you notice this energy? And it's also okay if you don't have any contact to it. You don't need to imagine anything. It's enough that you stay open and you give your consent that yes, I want to be intimate with the energy of destruction. I want to know, I want to love, I want to be. Allow yourself to feel the emotions that come up, the responses that come up. Notice what stories do you tell yourself about destruction? Or what stories do I tell myself about myself in relation to destruction? Start naming those stories one by one, feeling after each one, expressing after each one, letting them come out from the unconscious or subconscious. And if you don't have the words, let your body be your guide. Let your body show you how that story is in your body, movement, in your posture. Or sound. And if you at any point feel like you don't feel safe, you can find a place in your body that is relatively safe for you, so you can anchor yourself in your body, come back to your safe place in your body, and then just dip your toe into this experience as we journey on. So keep regulating yourself. It is important that you are in your body as we go through this. And it is important that you have the sense that you can be the active participant in your own experience. And then, what stories do you tell yourself about the other people? What do I tell myself about the other people in relation to destruction? Naming, feeling, expressing. Last moments. Is there anything more you need to express in relation or about the other people? The stories that you tell yourself about other people? And then, what do I tell myself about the world at large in relation to destruction? About destruction. Name the beliefs, the stories one by one, letting it sink in, feel, letting it express through you. Find the form, find the sound, find the breathing, find the touch. Last moments. And then when you look at this big picture of your physical sensations, your emotions, your thoughts, the stories that you have created for yourself, underneath, what do I believe that I am not capable of? Or what have I not allowed myself in relation to destruction? What am I? What do I think I'm not capable of What have I not allowed myself in relation to destruction? Name it, feel it, let yourself be the vessel of that energy, of that thing for a moment. Last moment. And then take a step back. Just detach yourself a bit from that experience. Call in the soul's perspective. And see it from the higher perspective, and see how that pattern or lump of patterns, different layers of your earth, the physical, the emotional, the mental, have repeated in your life, even though the details may have changed over the years, but how the same pattern has been alive. And ask yourself, what am I to learn from all this? What am I supposed to learn? One word or sentence. Keep finding the bullseye so that your body can respond to it and tell you with that response that, yes, the body agrees. Let yourself name it and feel it. See how your life is going to be different from now on. Now, knowing this lesson, knowing that this is what life has been trying to tell you. And then see all behind all of that, behind all of that, or underneath. What is the part of you that you have been hiding, that has been hidden and cast away for some time, that wants to and needs to be brought back to wholeness, back to love? Let yourself acknowledge that part of yourself, name it, feel it, integrate it, celebrate it. And how does your body want to integrate that part of yourself? Just take a moment for that. Last moments. Is there anything else that needs to be expressed about this part of yourself so that it can fully land in your experience and be part of your daily life from now on? And then I'll give you a suggestion how to embody the union of these two. And if it does not support you, that's okay. You can find your own way of uniting these two polarities. But one way would be if you stand in between the spots that you were journeying through the sexual energy and the destruction, and standing in the center of those so that you have connection to both of them. And you can hold one in your sexual energy in your one hand and the energy of destruction in your other hand, and the gifts and the hidden parts that have been not so present in your experience so far. So what were the treasures or gold that you found? Have them in your hands. And you can even feel from a distance that when you stand in between them, how do they want to, can they come closer to each other? Do they want to come closer to each other? How is the energy between them? Is it possible for them, those two, to meet in your heart? It may take a while in this exploration. You don't need to like bam. Obviously, if there is that sort of open connection and attraction already there, that's totally fine. But sometimes it may take some time. And if you can bring them to your heart, externally and internally, mix them together. What opens up? And let that, whatever opens up, let that expand your heart space, build in your heart, and let it rise through your third eye to the Buddhic plane. You don't need to know what the Buddhic plane is if you have not any experience of that before. that's totally fine. Just be open and receptive to sending that energy, that heart, whatever opened up in your experience in your heart, to use the third eye, pineal gland, the ajna center as a bridge to reach the Buddhic plane, to connect with the direct knowing, the intuition. You don't need to imagine anything, just sense what's there. And yet, visions may come. As visual sense is one of the sense doors. And there are hearing, smelling, tasting, touching also available. You can ask yourself, from this place, what do I need to know about next year? What do I need to focus on? What is the one pointed goal for me as part of humanity? The soul calls the arising sign, do thy will, live. Do thy will, live. And the pledged disciple responds, I see the goal, I reach the goal, and I see another. I see the goal, I reach the goal, and I see another. What kind of active intelligence, intelligent action is life calling you to now? From this place. It may be that the answer comes now or it comes later. Just stay open and receptive. last moments. And as you stay open, receptive, find a completion for the guided part today, although you may stay open and receptive to the evolving cosmic plan that wants to live through you, that wants to put you in your place where you can serve the best, that you can shine in your gifts. Let your body find a completion that supports its integration in this experience. Any movement that feels comfortable for you right now. And only when you feel ready, then come back to our shared space in the screen. Still have a few minutes. Is there anything you would like to share, to be witnessed in? What do you take with you?
Yeah, I would like to share something. What was a powerful element in this meditation, and it totally cracked me open at that point, was that the energy of destruction came right through my heart, and it felt like so connected to truth. Like, and that felt like a very Sagittarius thing. Like it felt like, oh, like a sharp, like um knowing what is right and what is wrong in a way, like very sharp. And so I was really surprised, totally surprised by that. Like, wow, it just rose up and it blasted out of my heart. So yeah, so that's a whole new, like a whole new framing of, like of destruction. And so I'm very happy with that. Thank you. It was really powerful, the whole journey. Thank you so much.
Yay, I'm so happy for your heart being blown open. Thank you for sharing
Oh.
that. Yeah. Is there anybody else wanting to say something?
Hi, Raisha. I also would love to say something. It was very powerful. Thank you very much. Yeah, a few insights from the sexual energy was more freedom came up at the end. Can I be even more free than I am, and what do I need for that? It was even emotional in a way. Yeah, it was beautiful. And in the destructive energy, I also feel what you said. I hope I pronounce your name well, Joya. It felt like darkness came up, being dark in a good sense, saying it all, staying in your truth, I think I can be more dark in some ways, and I invite myself to do that. So thank you very much. It was amazing to be witnessed like this. Thank you.
Oh, that's incredible. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it touches me when you say that. How can I be more free? And what I hear from you sharing is also that you can embrace destruction even more deeply, so that I did not hear any fear in that. So I was like, dang, it's amazing. Not everybody has to say anything or something, but I still want to give a space to somebody, at least one more share if there is somebody. I do need to catch a train. I'm going to sit in a train for 3.5 hours to Jyväskylä to my dance movement therapy training that starts tomorrow. So I'll be just packing my things and leaving soon, but I still want to hear somebody say something. But if there isn't anybody, then it's totally fine too.
Thank you very much. This what came to me also was very honesty, and just I saw quite clearly in what kind of situations I'm being dishonest and out of tendency to please, not trusting that my perception is correct or something like that. So not trusting to say that. So I'm very grateful for this insight, and I'm yes.
That is so to the point. What we need to, all of us need to do is to just trust our intuition, trust that the gut feeling that we have or the direct knowing that we have is the truth. It is on point, that it's not fucking up with our minds or anything like that. So I'm so happy that you found that amazing. Yeah. Thank you. There is one share in the comments that thank you so much. Too overwhelmed to share now. Just want to check that when you say overwhelmed, are you okay? Do you need support?
I'm okay. I'm just like wiped out.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you. And there's another share. Thank you all, and thank you, Raisa. Here's again meaningful points to integrate. Amazing. I'm sweating. I'm so hot, and I'm like feeling that this whole energy is just rumbling around in my system, and I will be integrating all this energy also on the train with people around. And I'm doing this from my office in Helsinki, my office job. So these energies are also landing here, which is beautiful and exciting. And I'm like, well, okay, let's see what's going to happen from this landing of energies. But then, I invite you to have your new moon offering and give it to the land. And while you give it to the land, seed whatever opened up for you, whatever wants to and was revealed to you that wants to be integrated, wants to be part of your wholeness, wants to be part of your next year. What's the intelligent activity that life is calling you to? So let the earth carry that for you and with you. So with that, I send you new moon blessings and all the love and freedom and abundance and power and will. Thank you for joining. See you next time. I will keep posting about the next meditation.
Thank you so